Alright, as I said on our previous video that within types of data, we have two kind of data types, which is qualitative and quantitative, right? That is in general. So let's look at it one by one. So for qualitative data, it means that a data that cannot be calculated, or even if you calculate it will not give you a meaningful output. Okay. So what is the example of qualitative data? You can say if you look at your book, back to your book, you'll see that example is colors, textures, smells, taste, appearance, beauty, and so on. Those are a kind of example that is actually in categorical, right? Colors, you have what? Yellow, red, orange. Texture, you have hard, soft. Smells, you have sweet smell and so on. Appearance, you have a good, bad, beauty and so on. They have the same kind of categorical as group. However, we can also have an example like for example, it is a number but cannot be calculated. For example, your metric number, right? It is actually a number. You can calculate it. Because you can actually input it in a calculator, and you can do whatever you want with the number, right? You can sum, divide, and so on. But even if you calculate your metric number, let's say you try to calculate the average of metric number within your class. Of course, you can calculate it using your calculator because it is a number. But then, will it give you a meaningful output? So just try to find the average of your metric number, your groups. Right? When you get the metric number, the average of that metric number, you will say what? The average metric number for our class is what is the meaning of that, right? Yes, you have the output, but it is not really have any meaning. Okay, so for qualitative, we have nominal and ordinal. Specifically, we have two groups in qualitative data. One is known as nominal, the other one is known as ordinal. For nominal data, right, just like the name here, it refers to a name, an ID, anything that in the form of name. It names something. It just represent things. Then it is a nominal. For example, if you look at table 1.3, example of nominal data is gender, zip code, ID number, eye color. As you can see there, there's two example, gender and eye color, that is in categorical, and two examples that are using number, zip code and ID number. Two examples that are using a number but actually cannot actually be calculated because it will not give you any meaningful result. What is actually the result, the meaningful outcome that you can get if you try to find the average of zip code? Right? Nothing. Okay, so that is nominal. Anything that is just being used as a name or ID is nominal, and the other one is ordinal. For ordinal, it has actually one extra feature compared to nominal, which is it is actually can be in ordered. It is actually should be in ordered or can be arranged. Right? It has the first. It has an arrangement. This data should be at first, and this data should be in the middle, this data should be at the last point. It cannot be the other way around because that is the order. Okay, so for example, we have ranks, right? Like ranks in racing, there's a person with that get first number, second number, third number, and so on. Third number cannot be a first number, right? It is as it is, right? First is first, second is second, third is third, third is third. But that is the only thing that you can get from ordinal, right? With who's number 1, who's number 2, who's number 3, who's number 4. But you can actually get to know how good is number 1 compared to number 2? How good is number 2 compared to number 3? Right? I mean, if you just look at the rank, you cannot really know how good are they. Number 1 from compared to number 2, number 2 compared to number 3. Okay? So that is nominal and ordinal in qualitative. You can look at other example for ordinal in table 1.3. Okay? In the next video, we are going to discuss on quantitative.